DidikTV KPM.
Assalamualaikum, salam sejahtera kepada semua yang menonton Road to Success SPM 2021 bersama saya Nisa K. Selamat Hari Raya. Nisa ucapkan kepada semua yang menonton dalam pada kita meriah beraya ni pun tidak lupa untuk kita tetap mengulang kaji bagi calon-calon SPM 2021 khususnya. Baiklah, sebelum itu Nisa nak bacakan kad ucapan, bukan kad ucapan raya tapi kad ucapan selamat Hari Guru bersempena dengan kempen hashtag Terima Kasih Cikgu, di mana Hari Guru akan tiba tidak lama lagi, di mana di sini kad ucapan ini dikirim oleh adik Muhammad Jazri bin Muhammad Yusni dari SK Kemahang 2. Cantik dan meriah kad ucapannya, di mana di sini adik Jazri ada tuliskan, guruku saat aku mengenal aksara, kau ajari aku menghitung angka, saat aku mengerti bahasa, kau ajari aku logika. Terima kasih, hashtag terima kasih Cikgu. Terima kasih adik Jazri kerana mengirimkan kad ucapan yang sangat cantik ini. Baiklah, hari ini kita akan mengulang kaji satu lagi topik tingkatan 4 untuk calon-calon SPM 2021 kita di bawah subjek sains. Siapa agaknya guru yang akan bersama-sama beraya dengan kita di studio ni? Jom kita saksikan profil beliau. Jom semua kita persilakan Cikgu Suhana dari SMK Konvent Kelang. Apa khabar Cikgu Suhana?
Khabar baik.
Selamat Hari Raya.
Selamat Hari Raya.
Kita beraya kat sini je lah hari ni Cikgu.
Ya, betul.
Baiklah, tak apa, saya ada kuih raya. Tapi sebelum itu kan Cikgu, saya nak tanya, hari ini topik kita sains tingkatan 4 merupakan topik ulang kaji bagi murid-murid kita hari ini kan Cikgu?
Betul.
Ya, sebelum tu Cikgu, saya nak jemput Cikgu ke meja ini. Saya nak tunjukkan kepada mereka semua apabila kita berada dalam situasi yang selamat, penjarakan sosial dan sebagainya. Jangan lupa, silakan Cikgu. Apabila perlu membuka pelitup muka anda, jangan lupa simpan di tempat ataupun di dalam bekas yang bersih. Contoh macam saya ada bekas macam ni. Cikgu ada bekas yang macam mana tu Cikgu?
Macam ni.
Cikgu ada bekas yang kecil yang boleh dilipat dan sebagainya.
Okay.
Saya nak ingatkan juga kepada anda semua agar kekal menjaga SOP di mana sahaja kita berada, seperti memakai pelitup muka, menjaga penjarakan fizikal sekurang-kurangnya 1 meter, cuci tangan menggunakan air dan sabun dan lazimkan untuk sanitasi tangan anda. Baiklah Cikgu, mungkin Cikgu Suhana boleh kongsikan serba sedikit dengan penonton kita berkenaan subjek ataupun topik apa yang kita nak ulang kaji pada hari ini Cikgu.
Baik. Sains tambahan ialah satu topik gabungan fizik, kimia, biologi. Okey, satu topik yang di dalam sains tulen, yang terangkum di dalam sains tulen, tetapi ianya lebih mudah dan lebih mudah difahami dan topik dia tidak berapa panjang. Jadi sesuai untuk dipelajari oleh murid-murid yang berminat dalam untuk membuat perubatan.
Ya.
Okey, tetapi tidak bukan ke arah doktor, tetapi boleh kepada ke jururawatan dan juga fisioterapi dan sebagainya.
Baik Cikgu, saya kira murid-murid di rumah pun sudah tak sabar-sabar. Saya persilakan Cikgu dulu untuk kita sanitasi tangan kita. Silakan
Baik,
Cikgu.
terima kasih Nisa.
Sebelum kita mulakan, dan sementara itu saya ada video khas yang ingin saya kongsikan kepada kita semua. Jom kita saksikan video ini.
Hi everyone, I'm Binti from SMK Konvent Kelang. In my opinion, I think additional science is a very interesting subject. By learning this subject, we can learn a lot about living things and how it interacts with the non-living things around them. Our teacher encouraged us to gain knowledge through experience and exploration. I learned that studying is hard, but learning is fun. If we relate our studies to our daily life, science will be so much fun. I hope I will gain more knowledge on the things around me and how it works through additional science. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Siti. To me, art science is a very interesting subject. I especially loved learning about a dynamic ecosystem. I learned that there are 5 components inside an ecosystem consisting of a habitat, a niche, a population, a species, and a community. Other than that, I really loved learning about symbiosis. I hope in the future I'll be able to learn much more through art science.
Hey, my name is Sophia and I'm from 4SK1. My feeling for art science is kind of interesting subject, exciting and fun. My hope for art science, I hope everyone can pass in art science and and I hope everyone can tell that science is going to be an interesting subject. Actually, science is the best. Bye, that's all from me.
Okey, baiklah itu dia sedikit sebanyak pendapat rakan-rakan kita berkenaan subjek ini. Dan subjek ini diajar di dalam bahasa Inggeris di sekolah. Jadi along the way, I will be speaking English juga dengan Cikgu Suhana dan juga rakan-rakan yang akan bersama dengan kita. Ya, saya tidak berseorangan. Mestilah kita nak ada tetamu untuk sama-sama menjamah kuih raya dan ulang kaji pelajaran dalam pada masa yang sama. Jom kita persilakan rakan-rakan kita dari SMK Konvent Kelang. Hai semua. Selamat pagi pula ada. Hai, salam sejahtera semua. Apa khabar? Selamat Hari Raya. Wah, cantik-cantiklah baju raya kawan-kawan kita semua. Okey, baiklah kita akan berkenalan dengan rakan-rakan kita. Kita persilakan Salvina, perkenalkan diri anda. Silakan Salvina.
Hai, saya Ska. Teman saya Salvina Durga, anak perempuan Satya di SMK Konvent Kelang. Thank you.
Thank you Salvina. Seterusnya Renusha. Renusha, jangan lupa turn on your microphone. Ada? Okey, silakan Renusha. Okey. Baik, mungkin ada sedikit masalah akses internet di situ. Tak mengapa, kita teruskan dengan rakan kita Marsha Idina.
Assalamualaikum and hi. Nama saya Marsha Idina Binti Solidin. Saya dari SMK Konvent Kelang. Selamat berkenalan.
Alright, thank you. Kasdina, your turn.
Hai, Assalamualaikum. Saya Kasina Syafia dari SMK Konvent Kelang. Selamat kenalan.
Selamat kenalan. Next we have Nurul Hanani. Sila perkenalkan diri anda.
Hai, Assalamualaikum. Nama saya Nurul Hanani dari SMK Konvent Kelang. Selamat berkenalan.
Selamat kenalan. Dan kita ada Abi Rami. Sila perkenalkan diri anda.
Good day everyone. Hi, my name is Abhirami, anak perempuan Subramaniam.
Alright, so I guess our friends are all ready. If you guys are ready, can you guys give me double thumbs up? Yes, everyone seems so ready and I hope our friends at home also bersedia dengan pelajaran kita sebentar lagi. Kita akan beristirahat seketika, jangan ke mana-mana. Kita jumpa selepas ini.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day everyone. I'm Hanani's mother. Hanani just recently joined the additional science class and in my opinion, additional science is a very useful and a very good subject. It does not only teach you normal science, it also contains physics, chemistry and bio which will help you in your life in the future. So I really hope that Hanani will build up her interest in the subject and do well in the subject. Thank you.
Hello everyone. My name is Sugashni, Abhirami's mother. I always encourage my daughter to take additional science simply because it makes a unique difference in a child's life. As in solving complex problems, developing creativity through investigation, and making wise decisions in their daily lives. As such, I believe it is vital for additional science subject to be part of the school curriculum. Thank you.
DidikTV KPM.
You guys are still watching Road to Success SPM 2021 with me, Nisa, and Cikgu Suhana, and also our friends from SMK Convent Klang. Today's subject is additional science, where we will be studying a little bit about Form 4 Chapter 2. Right, teacher? Okay, teacher, let's proceed with our lesson.
All right, students, while you are enjoying your Hari Raya goodies, we will continue with our topic today, which is the dynamic ecosystem. All right, you can turn into to your page 22 in your textbook. All right, so I will give you the definition of the ecosystem. Ecosystem is several communities living and interacting with each other together with non-living components of the environment. Example, animals, plants, the pH value, soil, the sun, water and air make up the ecosystem. Now we can see that in this ecosystem, living things, okay,
yes,
interact with non-living things. All right, that is ecosystem. Next, all right, look at habitat. Okay, a natural environment where an organism lives that meet their basic needs such as food, shelter and safety. Okay, so our example is a tropical rainforest. Another one is the niche, which is the role and activities of an organism in an ecosystem. Example, wreath hornbills fly to find the food. So for this term niche, let's focus on the term activities. Okay, now can anyone give me another example of the niche? Hanani?
Elephant.
Elephant, what does it do? Activity?
Hunt for food.
Elephant hunt for food?
For food.
Elephants hunt for food. Or you say elephant eat plants.
Yes, eat plants.
They eat plants. Okay. All right.
Thank you, Anani.
All right. Next. Okay, let's look at community. Look, the scale is getting smaller. Now, community, several animals and plant populations living and interacting with each other. Now, again, wreath hornbill population living together with a population of monkeys, snakes, and as well as other animals. Okay, we can see that a few populations of animals, they live in a community. All right. After that, population, a group of organisms from the same species, okay, living and breeding in the same area. Okay, example, a group of wreath hornbills living in a tropical rainforest. All right, I want to ask one question. Abirami, okay, where can we find a huge population of hornbill in Malaysia? Which state?
Which state? Abirami, can you turn on your mic, please, dear?
You can maybe in Johor.
Hornbills, sayang.
Hornbills. Anybody want to try? How about
Who
Selvina?
wants to help Abirami to answer this? Where can we find
Where can we find hornbills?
biggest population of hornbills in Malaysia? Which
In
state?
Malaysia.
Selvina, do you want to try?
Teacher, is that in Sarawak?
In Sarawak. Very good.
Good.
Okay, next.
Okay.
The smallest scale, which is the species, a group of organisms that look alike and share common characteristics. These organisms are capable of breeding to produce offspring. So example, hornbills. Common characteristics in hornbills, you can see that they have huge beaks and their colors, the one that we have in Malaysia, is black and white. All right, moving on. Now, let's study biotic and abiotic components. Now, these are the components that will affect our ecosystem. First, let's look at abiotic components. They are the non-living factors in an ecosystem. All right, example, temperature. Organisms can only live within a specific range of temperature. Look at this group of polar bear and focus on this term, specific range of temperature. Okay, so can we put polar bears in our tropical rainforest? Kasdina, can they live in our rainforest?
No.
No. Why? Look at this. Because they can only live in
a low temperature place.
okay, all right, a specific range of temperature. If we force them to live here in Malaysia, they will definitely die.
Yes.
Okay, next. Another factor, another abiotic factor is the pH value. pH value of water or soil in a certain habitat influences the distribution of living organisms. Most organisms survive well in a neutral condition, pH 7, but some species, okay, such as the palm tree, they are suitable. They love the alkaline soil, which is more than pH 7. Okay, moving on. Now, another factor, light intensity. The intensity of light affects the distribution and growth of plants. Look, the word intensity, it means the light can be very bright or it can be very low. Okay, some species, they can live in an area with a lot of sunlight. Some of them, they don't like sunlight so much. They love to hide below the trees or the shrubs.
Beneath the shadows.
Yes, the variation of light intensity in a forest leads to a difference in plant growth. When you look at this picture, you can see that taller trees, okay, taller species, they will grow very high because they love the sunlight. But plants, shrubs such as moss, okay, they don't like sunlight so much, so they are always at the bottom canopy of the forest. Okay. Next one, humidity. Now, it refers to the amount of water vapor in the air. Water vapor. Okay. And it affects the rate of water loss from animals through dehydration and plants through transpiration. Now, which animal loves to live in this kind of environment with so much of water vapor in the air? One of them is the snakes and the frogs. Now, students, what type of insect that love humid places? All right, whose turn now? Marsha, what do you think?
Can you share with us?
What do you think? Which type of insects?
Is it flies?
Flies. How about termites? You know termites? Yeah, the one that consumes wood, dead wood. The wood is always very soggy. It means that it has got some soil and water vapor, okay, over there. All right, next. Microclimate. All right, the climate in a microhabitat, it involves the combined effects of wind, humidity, temperature, and light intensity. The microclimate in moist soil is suitable for worms. In the soil, is there a lot of light or very little light? What do you think?
Very little to almost no light.
Almost no light at all. So that's why worm, we can find a lot of them in the soil, and it is also very moist. They love this kind of climate, microclimate. Okay, next one. The abiotic factor is topography, the physical and features such as the altitude, slope, gradient, and aspect of a region. Okay, and the higher the altitude, the lower the atmospheric pressure and temperature. Okay, now pine trees can be found growing on thin soils and slopes. Now, can we grow pine trees in our backyard?
No.
Can we grow pine trees in our school field?
I wish, teacher.
No, you wish. It's very shady, isn't it?
Yes.
Very nice looking trees, but they need lower temperature and low atmospheric pressure. Okay, so we cannot have them around here. Okay, Next, just now we were talking about non-living factors. Now, how about the living factors that affects the organism around them? Now, let's look at the producers. Autotroph. Okay, example, autotroph, organisms that synthesize organic substance from inorganic substances through photosynthesis. So when we talk about photosynthesis, we know that it involves
Plants.
Yes, so this is the example.
Or did I answer it too fast? I should
Okay.
give the chance to our friends over here.
Nisa is doing very well.
Oh, thank you, teacher.
Now consumers. Now example heterotroph. Okay, consumers are called heterotroph. They are organisms that cannot synthesize their own food, but must depend on other organisms for food. Okay, look at the example over here. Now, can you tell me the primary consumer? Example, look at these pictures over here. Okay, Abirami, which one is the primary consumer over here?
Grasshopper, teacher.
Grasshopper. Secondary consumer, Kasdina.
Frog.
Frog. And finally, tertiary consumer is who is it? Hanani?
Snake.
The snake. So we can see that the secondary consumer consumes the primary consumer, and the secondary consumer will be consumed by the tertiary consumers. Now, finally, decomposers. They are microorganisms that break down complex. Okay, this is the keyword, break down complex substances such as proteins and carbohydrates in dead organisms or from waste products into simpler inorganic materials such as mushroom. All right? Okay, next. Now, how do they interact? Now, this is what we are going to study today. Now, interactions between biotic components in terms of nutrition. How do they gain nutrition? All right, there are a few types of interaction between biotic components, such as symbiosis, saprophytism, and prey and predator. Now, symbiosis, they are divided into there are three types of interaction, such as commensalism, mutualism, and parasitism. Now, symbiosis, what is this? It is a relationship between two or more species interacting with each other for an extended period, meaning that these two species, they interact for a long time, maybe throughout their lifetime. Now, there are three types of symbiotic relationships: commensalism, mutualism, and parasitism. Now, commensalism is an interaction between two organisms living together where one organism benefits without affecting the other. Two examples are epiphytes and epizoics. Green plants, okay? Example for epiphytes, green plants that grow on other plants, just to gain aerial support to obtain sunlight for photosynthesis. So epiphytes, they do not have strong stems to reach the height they need. So example, okay, staghorn ferns, bird's nest ferns, and pigeon orchids. Now, these epiphytes can be found in tall and sometimes even old trees.
Yes.
It can be hundreds of years, but they love living there because over there they can get sunlight, all right, for them to perform photosynthesis.
I would like to ask our friends, are you guys follow? You guys are still okay? You guys still okay? Give me double thumbs up. Our friends at home, I know you guys are busy with your lemang and rendang, but we need to study. But we will take a break for a little bit, teacher. So I'll see you guys after this. Don't go anywhere.
DidikTV KPM.
back to you guys at Road to Success SPM 2021. Still with me, Nisa and Cikgu Suhana, also our friends from SMK Convent Klang. We left you guys with one of the types of the interactions, which is the symbiosis. Let's proceed with our lesson. Let's go, teacher.
All right, let's continue. The other type of commensalism, which is the epizooics. Okay, just not epiphyte involve plants. Now epizooics, it involves animals. Now, there are animals that live on the body of other animals, okay, without causing any disadvantage to the host. Epizooics benefit from their host in the form of transportation and maybe even food scraps. Example, a school of remora fish swim near sharks for food scraps and protection. Now, who dares to come near you when you swim near a shark? All right, so. And the other interaction is mutualism, which is an interaction between two organisms that benefit each other. This is very important. Benefit each other. Butterflies feed on nectar provided by the flowers, while the flowers need butterflies as pollinators. Now, what you call that? Oxpeckers, is a type of bird, okay, that feed on ticks that live on water buffaloes, keeping them clean. All right, so the buffaloes won't feel itchy anymore, all right, because oxpeckers will feed on the ticks at the back of their neck. Next, parasitism. Okay, parasitism is an interaction between two organisms that benefit only one organism. Only one organism. There are two types of parasitism: ectoparasites and endoparasites. So what is ectoparasites? They are parasites that live on external surface of other organisms. Okay, example, mosquitoes feed on human blood and breed while human can be transmitted with mosquito-borne diseases such as dengue. We don't want this. Okay, another one, okay, that affects our life is the endoparasite, okay, that live within the tissue of other organisms. Within tissues of other organisms means that they are in our body. Example, tapeworms attach themselves to the lining of the human digestive system, obtain digested food as their food source. Humans lose nutrients that they require. So we don't want these two, ectoparasites and endoparasites. Okay, next, saprophytism. Now, living organisms that obtain nutrients from dead and decaying organic matter are known as saprophytes. They secrete enzymes, okay, to digest dead organisms and absorb the simple nutrients produced. All right, so these are the examples: yeast, bacteria, and mushrooms. Okay, prey and predator. Prey and predator interaction is a relationship whereby a species of organism hunts and eats other organism. All right, such as tigers. Okay, they are predators while deer are prey. So these predators, they have characteristics. Their physical characteristics are very severe. Look, they have sharp vision to identify the location of their prey, and they have sharp, curved claws to grasp on their prey. And in terms of birds, they have hook beaks, okay, to tear the flesh of their prey. So birds with hook beaks are meat eaters. Now, one of the characters of the prey, all right, this is how they hide themselves from their predator. They rely on camouflage to confuse their predators. Next, all right, how do we estimate or how do we calculate their population? All right, now this is one of the method, which is the quadrat sampling technique. Okay, this is a quadrat square made of wood, metal, or even strings. The size of quadrat depends on the size, density, and distribution of organism being studied. Okay, the example of 1 meter times 1 meter is placed randomly in our school field to study the Mimosa pudica species plant. This is one example, okay, for us to do this in our school field. All right, now this is the formula for frequency. All right, it is a probability of obtaining a species of plants in a quadrat. The plant over here. Now, frequency also refers to the degree of dispersion. How much is it in a given area? So, frequency is a number of quadrat containing the studied species over total number of quadrat sample times with 100%. Now, density, okay, mean number of individuals of a species per unit area of study. All right, the formula, total number of individuals of the species in all quadrats, okay, divide with total number of quadrat sample times area of quadrats. How to do this? We will have some questions for you later on. Okay, next, coverage. All right. Coverage of a species is the ground occupied by the growth of a plant species. The percentage coverage is the percentage of ground area, okay, there, occupied by the plant. Percentage coverage is useful when it is too difficult to count each individual plant. For example, the grass in our school field, how to count them? Every root, every leaf, is difficult. So that's why we have this quadrat. And for every quadrat, okay, every single box over here, we count. So from there, we use this formula and we are able to get their percentage coverage. Okay, this one for animals. All right, how do we estimate their population? This is the capture, mark, release, and recapture technique. Okay, to estimate the population size of mobile animals such as small mammals, butterflies, and birds. All right, so animals, they move around. We cannot use quadrat sample, it's not suitable. So what do? All right, we get a specific animal sample, determine N is captured. All right, and then we mark them with a ring or a tag. After that, we release them, okay, into the general population, and after a certain period, a second sample is recaptured and the number of marked animals is recorded. Okay. Now, this is the formula for the using the capture, mark, release, and recapture technique. Okay, what do? First, we get number of organism in the first capture times with number of organism in the second capture divided by number of marked organisms in the second capture. Okay. All right.
So we are now at the questions section.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Which of the following is a biotic component? All right, I'm going to ask Abirami.
But first, Abirami, what is a biotic component before you answer? You get the answer, Abirami?
Organisms that live in an ecosystem, teacher.
Okay.
Living organism.
Living
Okay,
organism.
so for this question, what do you think your answer is?
Can you read the first question and share with us your answer?
Mike.
Abirami, can you turn on your mic, please?
Yes, teacher, it's A.
It's A. Water?
Yeah.
Water hyacinth. Okay, very
Water
good.
hyacinth.
Okay. All right, next. Okay, the biotic components are made up of producers, consumers, and decomposers. Which of the following is not a producer? Okay, whose turn right now? Kasdina, what do you think? Not a producer.
Not a producer. C.
C. Amoeba. Yes. So, amoeba is a type of bacteria. Okay. Next. Which of the following symbiotic relationship is considered parasitic? This is the one that we do not want just now. Okay.
Who can answer this?
Okay. Who wants to answer this?
Who wants to try to answer the third question?
Salvina, what do you think?
Teacher, I think so the answer is C.
C. Can you read the answers for me? Symbiotic. Selvina, can you read your answer?
Remora fish food.
Remora fish eating food scraps from sharks. Okay, other students, what do you think? Do you have other answers? Do you have other answers? Hanani, what do you think? Parasitic?
It's A.
A.
A. Okay, read the answer.
Ticks feeding on a dog's blood.
Ticks feeding on a dog's blood. Let's see. Okay, very good.
The answer is
A. Okay. Next. Now look at this plant. This is the one that loves to grow on other plants. Okay, plants that grow on other plants just to gain aerial support to obtain sunlight for photosynthesis. What is the interaction called?
Who knows the answer? Who wants to try? You can raise your hand
You can raise your hand.
if you know the answer.
Abirami, what do you think?
Can I try, teacher?
Teacher, I think it's commensalism.
Commensalism.
Commensalism. Let's see. Okay,
yes,
good.
I was about to answer that. We have the same mind, Abirami.
Okay. All right, next. Okay, which are the examples of consumers? Renusha. Renusha?
Renusha, can you share with us your
Consumers.
answer? Renusha, can turn on your microphone. Okay, we still cannot reach her, teacher. Can other friends help Renusha? What is the answer for the 5th question?
Who wants to help Renusha?
Marsha, do you know the answer?
Is it the answer is C?
Is it
C. Okay, let's try.
Let's see.
It's
No,
B.
the answer is B. It's
Consumers
owl and
are
bear.
living things that consume other living things. They are hunters. So, owl and bears. All right? Okay? Next. The diagram above shows a type of interaction between biotic components in terms of nutrition. Okay, what is the type of interaction called?
So we will give our friends over here some time to think about the answer of this question, and our friends at home can try to answer this also. I'll see you guys after this. We will take a break for a little bit. Don't go anywhere.
Assalamualaikum dan selamat sejahtera. Video ini kami tujukan kepada guru-guru yang telah banyak mendidik. Kegigihanmu dalam mendidik tidak akan kami luputkan.
Terima kasih, cikgu. Bunga melati, bunga kemboja. Harum mewangi di ruang tamu. Jasa guru tidak terkira. Mendidik kami tanpa jeda.
Air sungai jernih sekali. Sejuk terasa di jari jemari. Tiada ternilai jasa diberi. Tanpa mengguru, siapalah kami. Terima kasih, cikgu.
Terima kasih, cikgu.
Terima kasih, cikgu.
Terima kasih, cikgu.
Terima kasih, cikgu. Terima kasih, cikgu. Terima kasih, cikgu. Terima kasih, cikgu.
Assalamualaikum. Bye-bye. Terima kasih, cikgu. Sama-sama. Assalamualaikum.
DidikTV KPM.
You guys are still watching Road to Success SPM 2021, where we are discussing some of the questions for our friends over here, and you guys can answer it too. You guys can go back to your lemak and rendang just in a bit. So let's answer the 6 questions. Who wants to try? Nani. Okay, Nani wants to try to answer.
Is it A, mutualism?
Mutualism.
Is it A, teacher?
How do you explain this? We say biotic components in terms of nutrition. We can see that the bird is feeding on scraps, okay, residue of the food from the crocodile. So you say mutualism. Are you sure, Nani? Are you sure?
Yes.
Oops, sorry.
My answer is B. No, it's A.
Mutualism.
I got the wrong answer.
Because the crocodile gets his teeth cleaned by the bird, so he doesn't have to brush his teeth.
So it benefits one
both
another.
area.
Yes.
Okay, both organism. All right, very good, Nani. Okay, question number 7. What are the biotic components in a mangrove swamp? Okay, there are 3 of
Who wants
them.
to try to answer?
Okay.
Give us your answer and read the answer.
Can you can raise your hand, or you want me to call you?
What are the biotic components in a mangrove
Okay,
swamp?
Abi is ready.
Okay, Abi Rami.
Abi Rami.
What is your answer?
Teacher, I think it's C.
See, sunlight, tiger, and mangrove trees. All right, let's see. Okay, it's D.
it's D.
Dragonfly, snake, and mangrove trees. Okay, tigers, they will have a lifetime living in mangrove swamp, isn't it? Okay, so be very careful, Abirami, while selecting your answers. Okay, dragonfly, snakes, and mangrove trees.
Snakes loves a mangrove swamp because it's very moist, right?
Yes, it's full of water.
Yes.
Okay, it's a swamp. Okay, now this one. The diagram above shows the ecosystem of the ocean consists of biotic and abiotic components. State one example of biotic and abiotic components that are shown in the diagram above. So before that, you have to remember, you define biotic first and you have to define abiotic first. All right, then only you can answer this question. All right, so anyone? Example of biotic components. Okay, Renusha, is your line okay? Renusha? No. Okay. Let's see, how about
Who wants to
Kasdina?
answer what is the biotic components that you can see
One example, Kasdina,
in
what do
the
you think?
diagram?
Coral.
Coral.
Coral. Okay. Can you name another one? What do you think? Living thing. Sharks. Okay, let's see. Okay, fish, shark, coral, seaweed. Okay, it's a type of plant that lives in the ocean.
As we have
isn't
learned,
it?
biotic component is a
Living things. Okay, how about abiotic? Okay, Marsha.
Who wants to state what is the abiotic components you saw in the diagram above? Marsha, would you like to try? Yes?
Marsha, what do you think? Abiotic.
Is it water?
Again?
Water.
Water. Can I have another example?
Sunlight?
Sunlight. All right, let's see. Okay, very good.
Yes.
Okay, water, sunlight, and even pH. Okay, let's see another one. Now, based on the diagram, draw a food chain for this ecosystem. You know, you can just mention the organism involved and let me know the answer. Now, who wants to tell me? What do you think? Abirami.
Yes,
okay.
Abirami.
Teacher, seaweed?
Seaweed.
Small fish? And then to shark.
Seaweed, small
Eaten by
fish.
small fish? A small
Eaten
fish
by
eaten by the shark. Okay, let's see. Okay, almost complete. Almost complete. Okay, so you have to remember in the picture just now there's a bigger fish. The bigger fish is eaten by the shark. All right, 1 mark for you. All right, what will happen to the population of green aquatic plants if there is a mass of fishing activities? Too much fish being caught in that particular area. What will happen to the population of green aquatic plants? Who wants to try this one? Nani, what do you think?
The population of green aquatic plants is will increase.
Will increase. Okay, it will increase. All right. Now, one reason. You want to continue to this one, Nani?
Can you give me the reason to your answer?
What is your reason?
Because there will be a decrease in fish population due to massive fishing activity.
Okay, you say that the fish, okay, there is no more fish to eat the aquatic plants. Okay, so you say decrease in fish population due to massive fishing activities. So there will be no fish to consume the green aquatic plants. So that's why the population of green aquatic plants increases. Next, okay, human activities have destroyed the ecosystem of the marine park. How can we protect this ecosystem from further damage? Okay. Now,
who can give your answer?
Okay, Marsha.
Who wants to try?
Maybe we can stop the fishing activities.
Stop the fishing activities. What to do then? We cannot have fish.
How can we eat fish? I love fish.
What do you think?
What do you think?
Would you like to elaborate more on that? Stop, or you want to say to control? That's what you meant. Control, yes. Do not catch so much. You're only allowed to catch fish at this certain area of the ocean only.
We cannot do the activities of fishing excessively.
Okay, excessively on certain areas that is gazetted for fish breeding areas. So we can say that by enforcing a strict law to those who destroy the ecosystem of the marine park, okay, such as going to jail, right? Okay.
Or a very large amount of fine.
Fine, yes, you're afraid of that. Now, number 8, the table shows the result of a study on the population of garden snails in a vegetable farm. Now, this is the data. What is the estimated population size of the garden snails? Now, you have this formula. You have your calculator ready. Now, calculate. Come on, everyone. Number of organism in first sample times with number of organism in the second sample over number of marked organism recaptured.
Definitely they will get the answer faster than mine because I don't have my calculator with me right now, but it's okay. I will try my best. 200. Is that D? Anyone got the answer already? Yes, Marsha. Marsha got the answer. Can you share with us your answer?
Is it 520?
520, let's see. Oh, very good.
Yes, correct.
Okay, can you explain to me what do you put here? Number of organism in a first sample. What do you put here?
In the first sample, it shows 200.
Okay, and then this one don't have? Don't have, right? Yeah, okay. Over number of marked.
Over 50. So that means 200, open bracket, 80 plus 50, and over 50, then you get...
Okay, this one is 80 plus 50, sorry. This one, over number of organism recaptured is how many?
520.
No, this one, number of marked organism recaptured.
50.
50, okay, so you get 520. Okay,
yes,
next.
you got the answer correct. Okay. So far we have learned about chapter 2 of Form 4's textbook, page 22. You can also go back and do some revision on this topic. What we have learned for today, we have learned about dynamic ecosystems, biotic and abiotic components, a little bit about types of interaction and population ecology. So, teacher, what can you conclude from our today's lesson?
All right. Additional science is not that hard to study. Okay, so just focus and do your exercises. All right, look for sample questions, and there are a lot of things for you to study from the internet. Now we have a lot in YouTube, and also some university students, they do their research papers and so on. But if you focus on the topics, all right, you are able to nail it.
Yes. So do a lot of exercises, revision, and it's okay to make mistakes if you don't understand on some certain topics or questions, you can always go to your teachers and ask them. Okay, thank you so much everybody for being here with us. I would like to go back to my rendang and lemang. Thank you Cikgu Suhana, and also our friends from SMK Convent Klang. Thank you so much for those who have been watching us from the start until now. I guess I'll bid you goodbye for now. Bye, I'll see you again. Bye everybody, bye.
DidikTV KPM